What's up guys, Slutterfit's back here with another video for you, and in this one we're going to be taking a look at some of the most essential mods in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. These are mods that might not be the most flashy or visually breathtaking, but they change core features about the game that make it significantly more enjoyable to play. In my opinion, Skyrim is the best game of all time, not only for what originally released in the vanilla base game, but also because they made such an ideal template to be improved upon. There's a reason that Skyrim is probably the most modded game of all time. You can change literally anything to craft the perfect gaming experience for you. You don't like the main menu? Change it. You don't like the combat? Change it. You don't like the color palette? Fucking change that shit. I've fallen in love with Skyrim all over again in the last couple of years because mods have allowed me to turn it into a whole new game. But you might be wondering, where do I start? Or you might just want some basic mods to improve the game without changing too much. So for you, here are the top 3 essential mods for Skyrim. So the first mod we're going to be taking a look at is an interface menu mod by the name of Paper Style Interface, uploaded by Modder725 on Xbox. Skyrim's menu and interface system is great. It's simple and sleek. But what if you find it boring and want to jazz it up a little? What if you want to do more with it and get even more out of the interface by increasing efficiency? There are dozens of mods to choose from when it comes to changing the interface of Skyrim. I personally was more concerned with the first question of sprucing up the menu system and making it more fun. That's why I landed on this mod, because the paper aesthetic really goes well with the fantasy vibe, and it's a perfect mesh between the Skyrim and Oblivion interfaces. It makes Skyrim feel much more high fantasy, which is an aesthetic I've been really getting a kick out of lately. It just does a little extra to keep me in that world, because frankly, I don't really get why Bethesda chose to go in this kind of modern minimalist aesthetic with the menus and the interface in Skyrim. There are new, reimagined designs for all the different menu screens. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people might want to go in the direction of practicality, without changing up the look of Skyrim too much. Skyrim's mod bank is full of mods that are more in this vein as well. Now, with the mod I have chosen, I should give you some fair warning. Thankfully, I was able to get rid of it, but when you first download the mod, it replaces the text font with this ridiculous over-the-top cursive that is impossible to read, and honestly, I do not know what the mod designer was thinking with it. It's gigantic and glitches outside of the menu on parts. I would highly recommend downloading a different font mod to replace it, which is what I did. But to get it to work, I had to disable it and then re-enable the interface mod after downloading the font. The second mod we're going to be taking a look at today is Enhanced Blood Textures by D-Definder. I am definitely not someone who is super into blood, guts, and gore, but part of my goal with modding Skyrim is to get it as realistic as possible, to the point of making it feel like a whole new game. The blood system in Skyrim is just flat out weak. Random small splotches of blood just appear on the ground during a fight, and that is basically only when fighting human opponents. No monsters or creatures seem to have any blood for some reason. This mod is not only designed to increase the bloodiness of the game, but to make the blood expelled during sword fights an appropriate and realistic amount. There is more blood, but it also just looks more real. The textures are better, it seems to correlate more with when and where people get hit. If people suffer a devastating blow, it drips and pools around them. That is a physics system that just does not exist much in vanilla Skyrim. I also don't remember spiders and other creatures ever having green blood come out of them before downloading this mod, so that's a cool little touch they added as well. Alright guys, so the last mod we're going to take a look at today is Realistic Water 2 by Isaku. This is the Xbox version that is on Xbox One and Xbox Series S and X, but since he specifies Xbox, I'm assuming this is available on other platforms as well. Skyrim's water is one of the weaker parts of the game visually, but it isn't terrible, especially since the game came out over a decade ago at this point. If you're way out deep in the water, it actually looked pretty good aside from the fact that there are no currents or waves for some reason. Everywhere the water is completely still, but the main issue with the water in Skyrim is where it meets the land looks pretty off. It looks like they just put a water texture on top of a land texture with no sort of blending, which is probably what they did. This mod adds in a way better water texture and helps with the blending between river and land. It is a simple way to stay locked in the game without strange video gamey things taking you out of the immersion. I get really sick of looking over a majestic view in Skyrim only to be distracted by strange blue blobs sitting on top of embankments that are apparently supposed to be water. I really hope Elder Scrolls 6 has what I believe is called a mesh system, like what is in GTA 5 or Sea of Thieves. This is where there's actually waves, currents, tides, etc. It would go a long way to increase realism. Something about a completely still ocean gives good creepy vibes in Fallout 4, but in Skyrim just feels unfinished. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Comment if you have any build or video ideas you'd like to see incorporated into a future video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.